I want to talk to you about Lemuria and Atlantis today. I'm in the middle here of making these images for somebody's akashic records, and the whole theme was Lemuria and Atlantis and the fall, and how a lot of these timelines are overlapping. So when you look, for instance, at this image right here, this is what I see in a lot of people's akashic records when I tune into Lemuria. It's all peaceful, there is a sense of community, there is connection with nature. A lot of people that have connections with Lemuria are very connected to the water. They are connected to boats, to ships, being on the water, being in the water. And as you can see, I also love being close to the water. A lot of these souls have connections to the dolphins, to all these specific animals that live in the water. These manta rays are actually from a Syrian lifetime that I saw for this specific person, but it is the same soul having these water type of experiences and being connected. So this manta ray was actually a dragon guide that manifested as a gigantic galactic manta ray. This person also had a soul experience living underwater in Orion. There are several different planets across all different star systems where we have lived these aquatic lifetimes. And so how can you connect to these lifetimes again? You can connect to water if you're not close to water. You can connect to water still by consciously connecting to the water that you're drinking, for instance. Anyway, back to the story. Many people, however, have a traumatic experience with water while simultaneously loving the water. And as you can see in this image right here, this is an image that came straight from this person's akashic records, where they literally did a timeline hijacking. So what happened is a lot of Lemurian souls were taken to Atlantis. And because this is stuff that Ryan talks about a lot, they have these types of technology. It is a type of technology where they can artificially tune into organic timelines. And I mean at the point where Atlantis had already become Dark Atlantis. It was no longer Golden Atlantis. This was around the time where the fall was happening. Atlantis was still existing. Lemuria was at its end phase. Lemuria was falling. And what I've seen is a lot of Lemurians were taken. So basically, this person was on their way to continue their life, their Lemurian lifetime, the mission that the soul had set out for this specific incarnation. What happened is that they basically hijacked that timeline and took a lot of these Lemurians as slaves to Atlantis. Now, there's a lot of detail specifically about soul contracts with specific people that came up for this person, but this is stuff that comes up for a lot of people. For a lot of people right now, they are going through what I called basically a choice point in the soul contracts. Right now is a time where a lot of these Lemurian people, but people, when I say Lemurian people, I mean souls that have very strong connections to this Lemurian frequency. They are now here to kind of finalize that hijacked timeline, to heal this timeline where they were taken from Lemuria, brought to an artificial Atlantis that was no longer healthy, no longer positive. And they were basically taken and their power was stripped from them. So this is the lifetime where a lot of these things are being healed. So how can you heal these things? You can do this, for instance, you can connect with water, but of course, not everyone has access to water right away. You can connect with the trees, you can connect with any animal, any type of element that is connected to nature. Crystals, you can connect with your crystals. You can connect with the wind. You can connect with fire. Lemuria was all about being in touch with the planet. That is how you can be open to connecting to your own Lemurian trauma or these timelines basically being interfered with. So if you want more information, definitely check out Ryan's channel where he mentions a lot of this stuff. And if you have any questions, then put them in the comments, because I do have a book out where there are a lot of Lemurian stories, Atlantean stories in there. It's called Step into the Time Machine. You can find it on my website. If you're interested in a whole personalized Akashic bundle where you get an in-depth reading specifically about your Akashic records, what happened with you in these specific time cycles, Atlantis, Lemuria, galactic lifetimes, things like that, your soul contracts with specific people, it comes with a bunch of images. It comes with a playlist so that you can really take all these parts of your soul back, integrate them back, activate them again, and become the best version of yourself. So all the information can be found on my website. And if you have any questions, check out my Akashic Records playlist, a free playlist on YouTube full of tips and advice. Akashic Records Lessons is what it's called. And I will be back soon with more videos. Bye bye.